to your prenatal practice. Whether you're actually prenatal or not. Oh, gotta grab something for my hair. Like I said during my stories earlier, this is actually going to be a really nice practice for anyone, men included, whether you are pregnant or not. But of course, it's going to be super safe for pregnant people. So if you are prenatal, this is class for you. And if you're not, I'm sure you're going to enjoy it anyway, because I really love teaching it, and I actually love demonstrating it too, because it feels so good in my body, even though I'm not pregnant myself. So a couple of things to note, especially if this is your first prenatal class and you are pregnant. Take it super easy. Don't feel like you have to do anything that doesn't feel good in your body. So listen into what your body's telling you, and if a pose doesn't feel quite right, just give it a skip. For example, if you're suffering from reflux, downward dog isn't going to feel so good. Anything where you're going upside down is probably going to aggravate it. So you can either come to just a cat-cow, or if you're close to a wall, you can take down dog at the wall, reach the hands out in front, and allow the heart to gently soften between the biceps, the arms. Another thing to note, if you're used to practicing regular yoga and you are now starting your prenatal journey because you're pregnant and you use the bandhas, rather than releasing the bandhas slightly on the inhale and then contracting or activating them on the exhale, we'll do the opposite. So we inhale, lift up through the pelvic floor and Uddiyana Bandha, and as you exhale, you let go. If you're not pregnant, you just continue to work with your bandhas, however you usually use your bandhas. And the last thing is, there is a little bit more of the hormone relaxant floating through your body at the moment if you're pregnant. So if you usually don't come into full splits but feel super open and ready for it this evening, I'd ask that you still don't, and that you come to about 80% of where you think you can go if you are feeling a little bit looser in your joints and your muscles. I'd have lots of pillows close by for practice, because we need them for a few poses, but also they can feel really nice in others. And I'll ask you to set up, I have 3 here, that's just kind of the height I thought I might need. I would prefer my pillows to be a little bit longer and more narrow, like a bed pillow or a bolster, but I have square ones that I'm working with. And we'll start in Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly, which is my favorite pose to start all my prenatal classes in, and actually it is one of my favorite poses to be in myself. So take the pelvis quite close to the pillows. I need to angle my pillow down, so it makes a bit of a slant using the 3. And then soles of the feet together, knees apart. Allow the upper body to rest back onto the pillows and the head. And then either take hands down beside the body, palms face up, or you can take hands to belly or baby, or one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. If you prefer to take a different version with the legs, you can extend the legs out in front, or you can bring soles of the feet together, or soles of the feet to the floor, knock the knees in together. So wherever you have landed, close down the eyes and take a few nourishing breaths in, breathing all the way into the belly. Filling up. And then exhale, letting go. Inhale, full breath. Exhale. Take a few more breaths here in your reclined butterfly. Identifying any parts of the body where you're feeling tight or tense. And also acknowledging any parts of the body where you're feeling spacious or open. And in this pose, the hips will start to gently draw open, as will the chest. Allow the shoulders to soften and the face to soften. Notice the rise and fall of the belly as you breathe in and out, letting the attention rest there. Connecting body, mind, and breath, and baby. Over the next few breaths, we'll make our way into a wide-legged child's pose. It's going to be wide-legged because you probably don't have much choice in that matter. Knees will be as wide as the mat, or as wide as you need them to be to make space for bump. And then walk the hands out in front. Again, you can have a pillow underneath the head, or you can rest forehead on the floor. You can make a nest with the fists for the forehead. And as you find child's pose, finding a softness or a stillness in the pose. Taking a few deep breaths to fill up the back body. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, fill up, breathing into the lower back, the lumbar spine. And then exhale, letting go of any tension that you might be carrying with you, whether it's in the body or in the mind, any stresses. When you're ready, you make your way forward into a tabletop pose. Spread the fingers wide. Have the knees roughly under the hips if they might, or if they need to be a little bit wider, of course do that. Same with the wrists, roughly under the shoulders, but somewhere where you feel strong and stable. As you inhale, it's a gentle cow pose, and we'll work on emphasizing the movement from the upper back, so the heart lifts, gaze lifts, and then as you exhale, hug bump up into the body, dome through the spine, let the chin tuck and the tailbone tuck. Inhale, heart starts to radiate forward, the tailbone lengthens, kiss the shoulder blades together behind the back. And then exhale to dome. We link the breath to the movement, letting the breath be strong and steady, letting the movement be strong and steady. Starting to wake up the spine, the hips, the shoulders. our eyes here. And one perk of an online practice, rather than being in person, which I know is a lot nicer, but it's that no one else can see what it is you're doing, so you'll start to move in a way that feels natural for your body. And that might be continuing with these cat-cows, or it might be taking some extra movements coming out of this linear plane. It can be nice, especially for prenatal, to find length through the waist, so maybe gaze towards the left hip, breathe into the right waist, and then switch sides. If you're feeling tight in the glutes, some hip rolls. You might even involve the head, the neck, the arms. So there's no right or wrong. We're just tuning into the physical body, noticing those areas of tightness or tension, any niggles, so you know to be mindful of them throughout practice. And also starting to wake the body up, getting in a little bit of heat in the body where you're feeling most tight or tense. Take a few more breaths like this. And the movements might be big or small, slower or quicker. And then when you're ready, coming back into a neutral spine. Spread the fingers wide. Adjust the knees as you need so you feel stable. And then extend the right leg behind you. Flex the toes towards the face. Really push the mat into the floor and allow the hips to square towards the earth. Now you can keep both hands on the floor, or you can reach the left hand out in front, biceps frame the ear. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, draw the elbow and knee towards one another. Gentle dome through the upper back. And then as you inhale, neutral spine. So we're not arching through the back, but you'll kick out through the right heel, extend the left fingertips forward. Exhale, dome, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, dome, move like you're moving through honey. Inhale, extend, 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, extend, hold here. Now place the left hand on the floor if you need, otherwise we'll hold. Extend the fingertips to the left, foot out to the right at a diagonal, and then reach the fingers and heel away from one another. Ground evenly into the hand and knee on the floor. Take a deep breath in and out. As you inhale, reach the arm forward, leg back. And as you exhale, hand and knee back onto the floor. On the next breath in, left leg extends behind you, getting a squareness through the hips. Option to keep right hand on the floor, extend the arm out in front. Elbow to knee, tiger curl. Again, move like you're moving through honey. Inhale, extend. Exhale, dome through the spine. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Last one. And then reach. You have the option to place the hand on the floor if you need. Otherwise, we'll take right fingertips towards the right, left foot out towards the left. Keep hugging bump up into the body as you extend the fingertips away from the heel. Take a deep breath in, press evenly through hand and knee on the floor. Exhale here. Inhale back towards center. Exhale, hand and knee back onto the floor. Extend the right foot behind you and flex the toes towards the face. Place the ball of the foot on the floor and then reach out through that back heel, getting a nice calf stretch. Kickstand the left leg off at an angle, so the foot might come off the mat and then come on to the sole of the right foot. As you inhale, right arm reaches up, so modified side plank, gaze up to the thumb. Press into that right foot, reach the fingers high, and this sounds a lot harder than it actually is. We'll press into the legs, lift the upper body up, place the right hand to the right leg, and then reach the left arm up and over, and you get a big stretch down this left waist. Gate pose. Fingertips extend away from the left hip. And then when you're ready, slowly placing the left hand back to the earth. Right hand comes back to the sky, and you can leave this right foot where it is or lift the leg parallel to the earth and flex the toes towards the face. Reach right fingertips high. You might play with the gaze up to the thumb or keep the gaze on the floor if you're feeling a little wobbly. Take a full breath in and then exhale, gently place right hand and right knee to the floor. This time, left leg extends back, toes on the floor, heel reaches behind you. Press the hands into the floor, get a little bit of stretch through that left calf. And then right knee stays where it is, but the foot comes out at an angle, maybe even off the mat. Root down through the right hand, left sole of the foot to the earth, peel the left hand off the floor. Reach left fingertips to the sky. Press all right finger pads into the earth, so the hand is very active here on the earth. Now as you press deeper into the left foot and the right knee, slowly lift the upper body up. Left hand on the left leg, right arm reaches up and over. Breathe into that right waist. And then slowly reach the right hand back to the floor. Left hand reaches high. Keep the left foot on the floor or lift the left leg parallel to the earth, toes flexed towards the face. If you're gazing at the floor and feel a bit wobbly, you can stay gazing. Otherwise, lift the gaze up to the thumb. Let's take one last breath in together. And then exhale, left hand, left knee to the floor. Inhale, again, gentle cow pose. As you exhale, tuck the toes. Keep a nice deep bend through the knees as you push the floor away from you, downward facing dog. Now you'll notice if bump is quite big at the moment, you might need to widen the feet a little bit more than you would have had to pre-bump. And then pedal out the feet, sway the hips. Give the head a gentle nod, a shake. This is just another opportunity to feel into the body. Maybe now the hamstrings are starting to wake up, the calves. We'll start to flow a little bit with the breath. So very slowly on your next inhale, both knees are going to come to the floor. We're strong in the upper body as the knees connect to the floor. The heart and the chin and the tailbone lift. And as you exhale, untuck the toes. You can bring them together. Knees are wide, child's pose, sit bones to the heels. Inhale to come forward, cow pose. Again, heart, tailbone, chin lift. Exhale, tuck the toes. Keep a bend through the knees as you extend the sit bones high into downward dog. We'll take a few rounds of this. Inhale, knees down. Heart lifts, tailbone lifts. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cow pose. Heart and tailbone lift, toes tuck. Exhale, down dog. Let's take 2 more rounds. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child. Inhale, cow. Exhale, dog. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child. Inhale, cow. Exhale, dog. And then when you're ready, start to walk the hands back towards the feet probably wider than the hips, to allow for a forward fold. Let the head be heavy. Give a little shake of the head for yes, for no. You can take hold of opposite elbows if that feels good for you, or let the hands rest on the floor. There's a generous bend through the knees when we take our hands just above the knees, and then inhale, bigger than a halfway lift. We'll lift the heart up, roll the shoulders back, and then exhale, fold forward, staying strong through the legs. And then inhale, come all the way up, circle the hands, gaze up to the thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart, center. For our Surya Namaskar A, the prenatal version, we'll start at the back of the mat. Feet are as wide as you need them to be. And we inhale, reach the hands overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. And as you exhale, bend the knees generously. Take the hands just above the knees, forward fold. And then inhale, our version of a halfway lift, heart lifts, almost a little back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog, walk the hands out. As before, inhale, knees to the earth, heart lifts, and you can either take a angry cat or exhale, halfway down, elbows hug into the body, and then inhale, press back up. As you exhale, untuck the toes, walk the hands back to the hips, and then hands behind you. The inhale breath lifts the heart. Now, if it feels right for your body, you can lift the hips. And as you exhale, sit the hips back down. Hands come forward. Toes a little wider than the knees, almost mat distance. Yogi squat. Take a breath in here. And then as we exhale, fold forward. Plant the hands on the knees. Inhale, our version of halfway lift. Exhale, fold in half. And then rise all the way up. Hands come overhead. And then hands to heart, center. Inhale, sweep the hands up, gaze up. As you exhale, fold in half. Hands are on the knees, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, like before, knees down, heart lifts. Feel free to take an angry cat or exhale, chaturanga with the knees down. And then inhale, press back up. Untuck the toes. Walk the hands back to the knees. Come to sit. And this is where we get our heart opener, because upward facing dog is no longer appropriate. Heart lifts. Maybe hips lift for a modified camel pose. Exhale to sit back down. Hands come forward. Tuck the toes a little bit wider than the knees. Sit back into yogi squat. Heels might come off the floor or they might touch the earth. And then exhale, fold forward. Your feet can adjust as you move. They're not glued to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root down through the feet, strong legs. Reach the hands overhead, gaze up to the thumbs. And then exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, hands sweep up, gaze up. Exhale, melt the upper body forward, let the chin tuck. Halfway lift, heart opens, kiss the shoulder blades together. Exhale, walk out into downward facing dog. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, modified chaturanga or angry cat. Inhale, press back up all fours. Exhale, untuck the toes, sit back onto the heels. Inhale, heart, maybe the hips lift. Exhale, sit down, hands forward. Inhale, yogi squat. Exhale to bow. Halfway lift and fold. And then rise all the way up. Hands come overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Well done. So we'll come into Utkatasana chair pose. Feet are hip distance apart. Sit down nice and deep into the heels. Knees tracking over the middle toes. Arms come up overhead. Option for cactus arms. Find lots of length through the spine. Weight is in the heels. Take a full breath in and out. As we inhale, press into the feet, come up to stand, reach up. Exhale, chair pose, sit down nice and deep. 3 more like this. Big breath in. Exhale, chair. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit down low. One more time, breath in. Exhale, sit down. We'll inhale here in chair. And then exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll hold here for a couple of breaths. And you can pedal the feet out as you were doing before, or you can find stillness if that is serving you better. If you're getting a bit hot or feel like you need a breather, wide-legged child's pose is of course an option. So wherever you are, take 3 nourishing breaths in, fill up the canvas of the back, and then exhale, release. Breathing in and out. Last breath in. And complete breath out. Whether you're in down dog or in child's pose, we'll meet with the shoulders over the wrists, hips roughly over the knees in our tabletop. And then left leg steps forward towards the outside of the left pinky finger. And you can adjust the feet however you need. Tuck the right toe. Place the sole of the right foot on the floor. The knee will lift now. Left elbow on the left knee. Right arm reaches up and over warrior two pose. I needed to adjust my feet a little bit to feel a bit more stable. Feel free to do the same. We don't always land the foot in the perfect place that it needs to be. There is leeway to dance the foot around. And then extend the arms out in front. We'll take a full breath in and a long breath out. This time as we inhale, straighten the leg, reach both hands overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten both legs, hands reach overhead. Exhale, hands to a T, bend the left knee. 3 more, inhale. Exhale. If you're prenatal here, inhale, lift up through the pelvic floor. And then as you exhale, release, do the opposite if you are not prenatal. Inhale, lift up through the pelvic floor as you extend the leg. And then exhale, soften. Inhale, keep the bend through the left knee, reach the left hand back, breathe into the left waist. And then as we exhale, left elbow to the left knee, right arm reaches up and over. Reach the right fingertips away from the baby toe side of the right foot and get long through the uppers. Get long through the spine, left waist as long as right. Gaze is wherever the neck is comfortable. Strong through the legs. Take a full breath in. Long breath out. Last breath in. As you exhale, bring the right hand down, right knee down, and then walk the left foot out to the left hand inside the left leg. Allowing the hips to soften ever so gently, lift the heart. And then as you exhale, start to shift the hips back over the right knee, flex the left toes towards the face as the left leg straightens. Inhale, bend the left knee, reach the heart, forward, hips will lower. Exhale, half Hanumanasana. Now if you aren't prenatal, you might have this left leg a little bit more towards center. We're just making room for bump here with the leg out to the left. Inhale, heart lifts, hips soften. Exhale, half split. I think there's 2 more, 5 in total, but take as many as you like, moving as slowly as feels right for your body. Last one. Rebend the front knee, plant the hands, step back into your all fours. Take a cat-cow here to reset the spine, or take a few cat-cows if that feels better. And I'll leave some of you here in cat-cow if you have lots of energy and have been a bit cooped up in isolation. Let's come back into our all fours. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, press back up. 2 more. Let's get those arms nice and strong for when you need to be carrying baby when he or she arrives. Last one. Otherwise, you're just cat-cowing, getting some opening and movement in the spine. Gaze between the hands. You can walk the right hand in slightly. Right foot steps forward. You might need to give it a hand with your hand. Rest the right forearm on the right knee. Tuck the left toes. Lift the left knee off the floor. Turn the toes out to the left so the sole of the foot is on the floor. And then left hand reaches up and over, right arm reaches forward. Let's take a breath in here together. Exhale, let it go. Now rotate both palms as you inhale, straighten the front leg as you reach hands overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, hands reach overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Lift up through the pelvic floor, breathe in. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, breath in. Exhale, release. Keep that bend through the front knee. Right hand reaches to the sky. Reverse the warrior on the inhale, breath into the right lung. And as you exhale, extended side angle. Right forearm towards the right knee. Left arm reaches up and over, softening through the left shoulder. Crown of the head extends away from the baby toe side of the back foot. Deep breath in and out. Last breath here. As you exhale, left hand comes to the floor, left knee to the floor. You can walk the right foot out as much as you need to, right hand to the earth. Inhale, let the hips soften as the heart lifts. And as you exhale, half split, stretching out this right hamstring. Inhale, come forward, hips soften, heart lifts. Exhale, half split. 3 more, breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Rebend the front knee and then come back into our all fours. Keeping the hips over the knees, hands walk out in front. Now you might have pillows underneath or you might not, kind of depends on you. Puppy dog pose. So the hips stay high, heart softens to the floor, forehead towards the earth. If this is too much on the arms, you can take them out at a V, or you can take them at a V and then bend the elbows, thumb comes together. If you're quite open in the shoulders and the upper back, arms parallel can feel good, but remember that if you usually didn't take the arms straight before you were pregnant, keep the arms at a V. So don't put that much tension on the shoulders, even if you're feeling extra stretchy this evening. As we come into puppy dog pose, we'll take a couple of breaths here, whether you have a pillow or whether you are on the earth. Allow the body to soften. Wow, just check the time there. I hope you guys aren't too tired. It's hard to keep an eye on the time with no music and without feeling the energy of the room. It's a totally new dynamic for me to be teaching online, but we'll start to cool it right down now. So take a child's pose, just walk the hands back. After that back bend, child's pose is nice to round out the spine, get a little bit of release through that lower back. We'll move into pigeon pose. It can be nice to come in from down dog and sweep the right leg high and then bring the knee behind the right wrist, foot behind the left. It can also be nice to come in from tabletop However you need to maneuver, bump, and your body, bring the right knee towards the right hand side of the mat, foot over towards the left. Be mindful that the knee is further out to the right than the hips. And then you might or you might not take a pillow under the right bum. If it's not quite touching the floor, it can be a nice support. You might also take a pillow underneath the upper body. For prenatal, you might find that now shin is in the way, so you need to almost walk the upper body in the opposite direction to the knee. That's all fine. Whatever you do, just notice that there's an opening, an elongation, a stretch in the right glute. Be mindful that there's no pain in the knee. If there is, come out. Come onto your back if you're still comfortable on your back, and take a reclining figure four or reclining pigeon, feet on the floor. Right foot over left knee, right hand between the legs, left hand outside, left knee towards the chest, shoulders soften to the earth. And then when you find your pigeon pose, sometimes a bit of tension creeps up into the face and the shoulders, so direct the breath there. Exhale, let it go. And while I do have you in pigeon, a little bit longer now than our standing poses, starting to tune into the yin, the feminine energy. It's a nice opportunity to connect back to your breath. Connect back to the body, connect back to baby. However you need to get out of pigeon, do that. So it can be nice to plant the hands on the inhale and take a little bit of a back bend. And then as you exhale, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. You might find you want a few cat-cows in between. If you're super full of energy, take that vinyasa with the knees on the floor, modified chaturanga. And then come into pigeon pose on the other side. And you can do that from your downward dog or from your all fours. The left knee comes over towards the left hand side of the mat. The shin comes across the mat and the left foot comes over to the right. Walk the back leg behind you. Maybe take a block under that left glute or a pillow. Maybe take a pillow under the upper body. And then notice where you feel the pose. Hopefully it is in the left glute, down the side of the left leg. Maybe a little bit into the left hamstring, just depending where you're feeling tight. Hard to speak from experience because I have not been pregnant and I haven't had sciatica, but if you are suffering from sciatica, this can help create a little bit of space in the glutes to release that, I think it's a trapped nerve. If this doesn't feel good for you and you have sciatica, feel free to come into whatever pose gives you release, whether that's back into child's pose or just sitting up comfortably. You'll make your way out of pigeon pose again. Take your down dog, take your modified prenatal vinyasa, take your cat-cow, and then come to meet in a seat. We'll extend the legs out in a V. Flex the toes towards the face. Take as wide as a V as feel comfortable for you. It can be quite nice to inhale, reach one hand up and over, breathe into the waist. Exhale, come up, and then inhale over to the other side. And you can do that for a couple of rounds, linking the breath to the movement, or you might find it's nicer for you to linger at one side and breathe into the space here. And when you've had a few rounds, taking your time, you'll walk the hands forward, maybe bringing your pillow or pillows with you, and rest into your forward fold. So you should feel an opening in the inner thighs. There'll be a little bit of roundness through the upper back, so it's more yin version of the posture rather than looking for length and pulling ourselves or stretching. It's a passive pose where we soften, surrender into our dragonfly. On the next breath in, lift the upper body up, grab hold behind the knees, draw them together. And you have the option now to finish your practice either back in reclined butterfly where you began class, so pelvis close to your temple of pillows, laying back out, soles of the feet together, knees apart. If you're still early days and are comfortable on your back, you can take a Shavasana. Or if you prefer coming into or onto your left hand side, have a few pillows, maybe one between the legs, maybe one to cuddle, and come to lay on your left hand side. Hands can be wherever is comfortable, whether it's beside the body or on baby. Close down the eyes and take